Welcome to the Lead Church Security YouTube channel, your ultimate guide to creating a safe and inviting church environment. Church security can feel overwhelming, especially for a volunteer who is security minded but hasn't had much experience in the field. Church security can even be a bit of a task for a seasoned police officer if they've never had to lead a team of volunteers before. Considering the task as a whole, there are a lot of new skills and new tools that you need to obtain in order to do this job effectively. The last thing a volunteer needs is added overwhelm or added anxiety. Those things are guaranteed to increase your likelihood of ministry fatigue or just outright burnout. I say all of that to say this channel is designed and dedicated to empowering church leaders just like you with tools, strategies, and insights that are needed to build a sturdy church security department. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel today. Let us guide you through creating a safer place for your community. Today, we're talking about conducting a comprehensive security audit of your church. Whether your church is big or small, ensuring the safety of your congregation should be a top priority. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we jump into the steps of conducting a security audit, let's talk about why it's so important. See, church security is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Threats to churches are real, and we've seen enough news headlines to understand that being proactive is the only way to ensure safety. A security audit helps us to identify potential vulnerabilities in our church's security setup and create a plan that addresses them. Remember, your church doesn't have to be inviting or secure. It actually can be both inviting and secure. Conducting a security audit involves several key steps. Let's go ahead and break them down. Step one is going to be assemble your team. Think about the Avengers. Avengers assemble. Security is not a solo sport. It's all about teamwork. Most churches are going to depend on volunteers to man teams. So we have to build volume within our teams. The second step is to review current security measures. This includes physical security like locks, cameras, and alarm systems. It also includes procedural aspects such as emergency response plans for all types of emergencies. It could be medical emergencies, cyber attacks, that's one that is often forgotten about, or emergencies like fires, even a violent attack that's being taken out on your congregation. Step number three is to identify vulnerable areas. In order to do this, just take a walk through your church's property. Identify areas that might be easy targets for threats. Don't forget about digital vulnerabilities like cybersecurity. We just mentioned that just a moment ago. Cyber threats are very real in today's society. Scams are getting more and more sophisticated as time goes on. With those sophisticated threats or those sophisticated scams, we have to get more sophisticated with our cyber security. Now, step number four is to engage with the congregation. Believe it or not, your community can provide some valuable insights into the gaps in your security that you might not have considered yet. So find some people who have what I call an intelligent imagination. An intelligent imagination is what happens when we can measure what is actually feasible within the context of our current circumstances. See, our imaginations, when not kept in check, tend to run wild, and they take us to places that we really don't belong and just don't make sense. When we can engage an intelligent imagination, we can make preparations for possible and even probable threats that we didn't have in our sights before. Now, step five is to develop and execute some plans. Based on the findings from all of these other steps, develop a plan to address the vulnerabilities that you found. This might include upgrading some equipment, enhancing your surveillance. It might mean you're training staff and volunteers, running training days. Don't feel like you have to do it all in one weekend or even this weekend. Just pick one thing that you can get done this month and execute it. Then see what you can do the next month and then the next month. The goal here, as they say in football, is to move the chains. It means just make some progress. Every play you make doesn't have to be a touchdown. Just get yourself into scoring position. Step 6 is to review and update. Security is a fluid industry, so regular reviews of your security measures are absolutely essential. Make adjustments as needed. Keep your team and your congregation informed as those adjustments are made so that everybody is on the same page. It's also really important to understand legal implications of your security policies. Make sure your security measures comply with your local, state, and federal laws. These things change from time to time, so it's good to make an effort to research laws for your state. Conducting a comprehensive security audit is a huge step toward creating a safer environment for your church community. Remember, the goal is not just to react to incidents, but to prevent incidents. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode. If you found this video to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with other church leaders. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this valuable content as it posts to YouTube. Drop some questions or comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and tell that algorithm that people need to hear this information. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.